Good morning to everyone. I am Dr. K. Vijay Kumar, Associate Professor, Public Administration, Government City College, Hyderabad. Today, our topic is New Public Management. New Public Management, NPM. NPM means New Public Management. In this topic, these are the subtopics. Objectives of the New Public Management, then introduction, then evaluation of New Public Management, then reforms, then New Public Management, NPM. NPM is nothing but New Public Management. Then components of NPM. Components of NPM. Then silent features. There are so many features. In that, the main silent features of NPM means New Public Management silent features. Then entrepreneurial government. Entrepreneurial government. Then implications for developing countries. There are some implications on the developing countries. So, then lastly, conclusion. These are the subtopics of New Public Management. Then objectives. Of the New Public Management. The basic objectives of the New Public Management that are trace the important features of evaluation of public administration. Evaluation of public administration. Then explain the major premises of NPM. Explain the major premises of NPM, New Public Management. Identity the major components of NPM. Identity of the major components of New Public Management. Then estimate the utility. Estimate the utility of New Public Management to the developing countries. These are the main objectives of the New Public Management. Then introduction. Discussion on public administration have been generally concerned with efficiency and economy. Discussion on public administration have been generally concerned with efficiency and economy. Then the idea it to see that administration becomes result oriented and productive by spending least resources. Then, as the government in the West sought to adapt to themselves to the new technology, new social demands, and keen competition, this lead to a search for new paradigms. Then after it leads to the NPM, New Public Management. These paradigms are new public administration, public choice theory, critical theory, and new public management. The government in the West sought to adapt themselves to the new technology, new social demands, and keen competitions. This lead to a search for a new paradigms that are the new public administration, public choice theory, and critical theory, and new public management. Already we are in earlier class we discussed new public administration and public choice theory. Now we are in the topic of new public management. The discussion on public administration have generally been concerned have concerned with efficiency and economy. The idea is to see that administration becomes result oriented and productive by spending least resources. The public administration have been fascinated by Wilsonian search for a science of administration. At the end of the 19th century, in the world of practice, remarkable changes took place as the government in the West sought to adapt themselves to new technologies, new social demands, and keen competitions. This lead to a search for new paradigms of public administration. These new paradigms are like new public administration, public choice theory, critical theory, and new public administration. After 19th century, the West sought to adapt themselves to a new technologies. And new social demands and keen competitions. There are so many competitions between the different nations also, and different social demands, so different new technology also. This lead to search for a new paradigms. Then after the new paradigms came into existence, like as new public administration, public choice theory, critical theory, and then after the new public management, etc. Then evaluation. The study of public administration start from the base of management. The study of public administration should start from the base of management rather than foundation of law. The term management is fully applicable to the public sector and not is a questionable assumption. The term management is fully applicable to the public sector and not it is a questionable assumption. In the past two decades, the topic of public management has come forcefully into the agenda of those interested in governmental administration. The slogan was, there is one slogan, the great slogan, that was, let the managers manage. Let the managers manage. Leave the managers free to achieve the governmental objectives as they see fit in the most cost effective managers. This is a significant slogan in the public management, new public management, that is, let the managers manage. Leave the managers free to achieve the governmental objectives as they see fit in the most cost effective managers. The evaluation of the study. Firstly, Willoughby's Principle of Public Administration. It was published in 1928. Emphasized the manager role of public administrator. In 1928, the Willoughby is book, that is Principles of Public Administration, which was published in 1928. In that, he emphasized the manager role of public administrator. In those days, in 1928, then L.D. White's in his book also, Introduction the Study of Public Administration, which was published in 1929, he desired that the study of administration should start from the base of management rather than the foundation of law. Business administration as the appropriate guiding model for governmental administration was also Waldo's advocacy in is the administrative state, which was published in 1948. The term management is fully applicable to the public sector, not is a questionable assumption. In the first 2 decades, the topic of public management has come forcefully into the agenda of those interested in governmental administration. Numerous books and articles have included the term in their titles. There have also been many management improvements initiatives at various levels of government, including effort to implement specific procedures or technologies, and prestigious conferences and institutional reports on improving the public management. In those days, there are conducted so many prestigious conferences and institutional reports on improving the public management. Common to all these activities is the claim that the emphasis on public management is both original and highly significant for education, research, and practice in public administration and related fields also. In the practicing of public administration, there has been growing concerns. There has been growing concerns about the efficiency and effectiveness of the public agencies. Public agencies like legislature, bureaucracy, political executive, and even judiciary also. These were strident criticisms against the self aggrandizing and budget maximizing politicians. The size of the bureaucracy and the cost of administration came in for sharp criticism. The size of the bureaucracy and the very effectiveness of the government had been in question. The crisis facing the Western nations in the 1980s and the 1990s forced to search for a new management styles with its focus on professional management on the basis of economic rationality. That is the most important. How to minimizing the budget. Then self-aggrandizing. These are the focus on. These are the new management styles with its focus on professional management on the basis of economic rationality. The slogan was that let the managers manage. Leave the managers free to achieve governmental objectives as they see fit in the most cost effective manner. This is the evolution of new public management. Then reforms. Reforms efforts in the government have been continuity process in every country. If you take any nation, there are so many reforms came into force, and every year also it is a continued process. Reforms efforts in the governmental have been a continuity process in every country. That is common in the administrative process. In India, ARC Administrative Reforms Committee, first in 1966 to 70, produced a series of reports concerning almost all the departments of the government of India. In every department, almost all the every departments of the government of India, they produced a series of reports in India Administrative Reforms Committee. In every department there are so many reforms came into force in every year. That is, in every some period of tenure, they are they are suggested a different type of report reforms. Then in 1980s, things started changing rapidly. In 1980s, things started changing rapidly. Then the development of public management have developed at a remarkable pace, and by the 1990 have emerged as a global movement. Reforms efforts in government have been a continuity process in every country. In India, Administrative Reforms Committee produced a series of reports concerning almost all the departments of Government of India. Example you take, every pay commission reports in India carried with it many recommendations for changes in administration such as the railways, the police, and so on. Similarly, in the United Kingdom, there have been many major attempts to bring about significant changes at the different levels of public administration. And what is important to note that these reform proposals had been discussed with the framework of traditional public administration. The accountability of the civil service to the elected element within the overall accountability structure laid down in the parliamentary system of government was not in question. There was general consensus there was general consensus that public administration could be reformed effectively by a combination of strategic management, structural organization, and development of better personal management systems. In the 1980s, things started changing rapidly. The failure to control the economy to lead to the rejection of the old solutions of control. From these small beginnings, the erosion of traditional administration and the development of public management have developed at a remarkable pace, and by the 1990s have emerged as a global movement. Its foundations lie in redefining the role of government. For example, as an entrepreneurial rather than a facilitator, and approaching macroeconomic policy via control of public spending. These reforms are occurred in the public administration from time to time. Now also it is a continued process. Reforms are the continued process in every nation, in every country. It is a continued process, not only administration, in economical reforms, administrative reforms, social reforms, different reforms are performed. So it is a continued process in every country. Then new public management. New public management. The new concept of public management or new public management has been characterized as a new paradigm. In public administration, There has been numerous claims of a paradigm shift, like for instance, from bureaucratic to post bureaucratic or to entrepreneurial government. The noteworthy feature is that the National Public Management Research Conference at Syracuse University, which was held in 1991, and Conference of Commonwealth Association of Public Administration and Management, which was held in Canada in 1994. These conferences are produced thoughtful views on new public management. The new concept of public management or new public management has been characterized as a new paradigm changing the way of public administration has traditionally been looked at. In public administration, there has been numerous claims of the paradigm shift, like to instance from bureaucratic to post bureaucratic or to entrepreneurial government. The noteworthy feature is that the National Public Management Research Conference at Syracuse University in 1991 and Conference of Commonwealth Association for Public Administration and Management, which was held in Canada in 1994, produced thoughtful views on new public management. In these two conferences, produced some thoughtful views and on new public management. Then components of NPM, new public management. The NPM, new public management, is essentially a market based ideology. Generally, it is a market based ideology. New public management concept, it is nothing but a market based ideology. Then the delivery of high quality, that citizen value, the delivery of high quality, that citizen value. Then to achieve high quality standard of services, the managers had increased autonomy. The rigorous performance measurement of individuals and organizations are made compulsory. The rigorous performance measurement of individuals, it is compulsory in new public management, and also organizations are made compulsory. In the area of human resource management, recruitment policy is directed towards drawing allied benefits. The NPM is essentially a market based ideology characterized by a importation of ideas generated in private sector settings within public sector organizations also. These are the core ideas and components of the NPM. The delivery of high quality services, that citizen value. The consumers are reconceptualized as active customers and not just passive recipients. Why? Because it is a basic, it is based market ideology. So the customers are conceptualized as active customers, not just passive recipients. Then, to achieve high quality standards of service, the managers need increased autonomy. For this, the shifting of operating responsibilities from the central department to specific agencies. Then, organizational structures are being simplified and hierarchies flattened to create conditions for more positive and productive managerial leadership. Then rigorous performance measurement of individuals and organizations are made compulsory. Rewards, including pay structures, are based on fulfillment of performance targets. Nowadays, in every public sector, there are some targets. If we reach the target, then there are so many incentives. Just like fulfill up after fulfill up their performance targets. That is the why, because it is a based on market ideology. What the demand of market. Then after you perform your activity, then after you will get different types of benefits also. In the area of human resource management, recruitment policy is directed towards trying the allied benefits and constantly exposing them to skill improving training programs. Constantly exposing them to skill improving training programs. That is the main component of new public management. Then advocacy of receptiveness to competition and an open-minded attitude about which purpose should be performed by the public sector as opposed to the private sector. NPM, New Public Management, has common roots and combines two theories of various of what administration is or should be: public choice theory and neo-Taylorism. Then silent features of NPM. The traditional output oriented administration is replaced by the process oriented administration. The customer replaces the citizen and the production line of public administration. The purpose of ownership seen as efficient management rather than possession. Then the basic recommendations for shift of general emphasis from policy to management with full cost consciousness before making any decisions. The traditional output oriented administration is replaced by the process oriented administration with emphasis on performance indicators, evaluations, and performance related pay and quality improvement. If you are improved, then it will automatically pay also will improve. That is the one of the silent feature of this new public management. Why? Because it is related market based ideology. The customer replaces the citizen, and the production line of public administration is broken down into individual pieces, but contracting out or privatization. Major emphasis on cost cutting rather than spending. The administrative motto is to do more and better with less of the same. Structurally, clusters rather than a pyramids as the preferred model for the design of administrative system. Autonomous agencies being linked to the parent department on the basis of contracts. The purpose of ownership seen as an efficient management rather than possession. All in all, the basic recommendations for shift of general emphasis from policy to management with full cost conscious before making any decisions. Before making any decisions. These are the main important silent features of new public management. Then entrepreneurial government. Entrepreneurial government, e.g., entrepreneurial government promotes competition between diverse providers, goods and services. It promotes competition between diverse providers, goods and services. Then it empowers citizens by pushing control out of bureaucracy. Then it driven by the mission, not by the rules of regulations. Entrepreneurial government driven by the missions, not by the rules and regulations. Then it is decentralized authority. It is not a centralized authority. It is decentralized authority embracing participating management. Embracing participating management. New paradigm of new public management or improving public management through performance measurements and evaluation, reducing budget, cutting the size of government, and selective privatization of public enterprises. Now it is accurately uh, doing these type of activities by the state and as well as central governments also. That is the new paradigm of new public management. Improving the public management through performance measurements and evaluation. First of all, reduce the budget. Then after cutting the size of government, it's nothing but cutting the size of bureaucracy also. Then select the privatization of public enterprises. Nowadays, in all public enterprises are going to be a privatization. Example, you take different type of public undertakings are all going to they will become a privatized institutions, private enterprises. So selective privatization of public enterprises, that is entrepreneurial government. And it redefines the clients as customers. It redefines the clients as customers and offers them choices also. It redefines the clients as customers and offers them choices. The measure of performance of the agencies focuses particularly on outcomes, not inputs. It is driven by the mission but not by the rules and regulations. It prepares market mechanism to bureaucratic mechanism. It prepares entrepreneurial government prepares market mechanisms to bureaucratic mechanism. These are fairly clear cut, straightforward identification marks of a type of government which the new inventors call entrepreneurial. Entrepreneurial. As the authors argue convincingly, used almost as a checklist, the 10 principles offer a powerful conceptual tool. The new paradigm change as these are the governance responded. Reinventing governmental immediately caught the attention of anti-bureaucracy campaigners, and the publication was accorded to warm welcome, heralding as it were the birth of a new form of public management. With considerable caution, the practical world of governance responded the new paradigm change in the following manner, that is improving public management through performance measurement and evaluation, reducing budgets, cutting the size of government as well as bureaucracy, selective privatization of public enterprises, then contracting out in selective areas. Now it is nothing but in all government sectors, that is outsourcing agency. It is nothing but. Then implications of developing countries. This paradigm's shift in public administration analysis in the developed West has its ripple effect on the third world as well. That is the main implication of the main implication for the developing nation. There has been a general skepticism about the role of efficiency of an essentially control oriented then development administration. All said and done had been first world's handwork posing as a dynamic change agents. Then, as the third world states are being compelled to follow the dictates of the international funding agencies and problematic in the proper perspective. These are the implications for developing countries. Also, there has been general skepticism about the role and efficiency of an essential control oriented. People avoiding and rule bound colonial bureaucracy. releasing creative human energy through speedy and wide-ranging transformation often inherited in egalitarian and inequations socio-economic setup has been duly acknowledged as a political question and not really the administrative one. In the correct theory of state minimalism, minimalism, minimalism is just another name for recolonization, as third world states are being compelled to follow the dictates of international funding agencies and problematic in proper perspective. These are the implications for developing countries. In conclusion, the NPM was basically influenced by a contribution of economic issues resulting in reduced financial resource of government. Then NPM has exposed the overprotected and dominated bureaucracy model of management. Then the criticism of NPM paradigm is that first world managers who are interested in market mechanism to export their goods to the third world. Today it is today it is going on in every developing nations, means third world nations. Then another argument is that the absence of social responsibility. Why? Because it is a market based theory. If you will get benefits, then after they will perform. Otherwise, they will not uh, do their activities. So another argument is that the absence of social responsibility of private sector is also a key point, and minimizing the role of the governments are going to lead to recolonization of the third world. These criticisms also in the NPM. Okay, thank you.